Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus on all of that. Bernie, if I remember, you were not necessarily keen on Donald Trump. I think you were looking at Jeb Bush. But you did say in the end you would support the nominee, whoever it was, right?
Look, I know one thing. I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I know what she stands for. And frankly, it's the same policies that we have now. So, look, I'm hoping it's going to work out that Texas and between Ohio, Texas, and Florida, that we're going to have some good idea who the candidate is. Look, I was supporting Jeb. I think that Jeb would have been absolutely qualified to be president of the United States. And right now, I think that Rubio is probably better qualified. I think that Trump had better get his act together if he's going to get Republicans to vote for him. I can tell you about my friends who are Republicans. Many of them now say that they're not going to vote, and I think that this is a very serious matter.
Yeah, and to your point, I'm hearing the same thing, Bernie, from a lot of different folks that they'd rather not vote at all but, and I said pretty much the argument you do. Well, in so doing, you are improving the odds of the Democratic nominee, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. They don't seem much to care. There does seem to be a revolt among some, and I stress some on the religious right, who argue that he just isn't right. Donald Trump isn't right. Not everyone, because Jerry Falwell's son is okay with Donald Trump. A number of evangelicals are in states like Iowa and South Carolina. That's pretty clear. But what do you make of this division? Some are calling it a revolt within the party. What do you think?
Well, it is. It is a revolt. And if you go back to the last election, Romney, they say that Romney lost 5 million votes, 5 million Republicans that didn't vote. And that's why Obama got elected. Now, if the same thing happens here, it basically puts Hillary Clinton in the White House. And I think that the only thing that Donald Trump could start doing is start mending fences, which he doesn't seem to be doing. And I think he has to do it as quickly as possible. He's a very bright guy. He's very smart. He's calculated. This is not a dumb guy. And he's usually a winner at what he does. But this is a case of not dealing with another contractor. He's dealing with the American people. And he better understand that the American people are very diverse. And they don't like to hear some of the things that are coming out of his mouth. And I think that my advice to him would be start changing your tone and start trying to correct what you've done in the past that have alienated a lot of people.
Well, obviously, it's alienating all the way up to the former Republican nominee, Mitt Romney, that, you know, from the tax reform demand and all the rest. But now Paul Ryan today saying that the GOP doesn't prey on people's prejudices. Clearly, he's talking about Donald Trump. And I'm just wondering whether this gets to be so fractious that it's going to be hard for the party to come together. Even if Trump makes amends or tries to, he might just conclude in the end, look, I walloped you guys. I don't need you, and I'm sick and tired of you guys preaching to me.
Well, you know, there are two sides to this story. Number one, there's the election of the President of the United States. And we have to look at the other side, which is the Congress, the Senate and the House. And if, in fact, which I hope happens, that the Senate is won by the Republicans and the House continues to be Republican, again, Donald Trump can talk about all the things he wants to do, and the truth is you can't do it without the Congress unless you do an Obama and become a dictator and start passing executive actions on everything that you do. I don't think that he's going to do that, and so he needs the Congress, and I think it's important that he understands. I never hear any comments from him talking about the fact that he has to work with Congress to pass all these things that he wants to do. And I think it's a very essential part of our democracy.